Hey everyone. So today I wanted to talk about 1/3 of people in America not making six figures, but they have millions in their 401k. So a lot of people haven't heard the story. And by the way, quick disclaimer, I'm on my bike. So if you don't like the back and forth swinging that I'm doing, just let me know. And I won't be on my bike working out while making videos in the future. So a lot of people don't know the story of the garbage man. It wasn't really a garbage man. You know those people who clean in schools? Janitor, there you go. So the janitor in this school, all he ever did was invest in his 401k. Very, very nice guy. Everybody knows him. Everybody respects him, right? And this janitor basically had that school 401k, so he would invest all the time. And essentially, there was a study conducted that showed that this janitor, although he never made six figures by any stretch of the imagination, made more money than doctors, just because when he was 18, he got a job as a school janitor, and from day one, he had invested in his 401k. So then, when I was really, really young, I was probably like 19, 20, several YouTube videos came up out of nowhere that would show the compound interest of investing early. And it would also show the janitor's story, because this was a janitor, I believe, who was in New York, and I'm from New York. So it resonated with me a little bit, what compound interest could do for me. And it showed that no matter how much money a doctor made or how much they invested, they could not catch up to the janitor who had invested at 18 years of age, because his money is old money, working on top of his new money, working in order to get him to that stage in his life. So if a janitor put in 15% of, I don't know, $45,000 a year at age 18, and a doctor puts in 15% of, I don't know, let's say 150,000 from age 34, the 18-year-old is winning. They got 16 years on this doctor. And by the time they reach age 65, the janitor has blown this person out of the water. Out of the water. Because at 7 to 10% interest on top of your money every single year, you done already doubled your money twice. Because your money should double every 7 years. So the janitor, literally having 16 years in, after that 14th year, his money has already doubled twice with an extra 2 years going. So, I mean, the doctor can't catch up to this janitor who hadn't been investing the entire time. And then you also got to think, there's a lot of doctors who I know personally who just say, you know what, that debt that I have, I'm never going to pay it. I'm pretty sure there's lawyers like that as well. And probably every single profession. I mean, let's be real, right? So the janitor doesn't have debt. And it's not something that's crippling. I don't want to make it out like everybody likes to go one way. Oh, it's good debt because I went to school. Oh, it's bad debt because it's not making you money. At the end of the day, it's not going to cripple you. I know plenty of people who are doing just fine with student loan debt, okay? But I just want to be very, very clear. You're still paying on it, and it's still taken from your income. So the quicker you pay it off, the more money you'll have to invest, save, and get things going in the right direction. And if you listen to my last video about millionaires, you would know that bad interest is not the type of interest that they keep. They only get earned interest because that is the best way to be one of them in America. So with that being said, basically the moral of the story is a third of people never earn six-figure income. In fact, the top 5 of millionaires today in that group is managers, doctors, teachers, of course, businessmen and women, lawyers, software engineers. I don't know if I did 5 or 6 just now, but now businessmen and women wasn't necessarily in the category, but from those who I have personally spoken to as a home lending advisor at Chase, which isn't financial. Well, I am a financial advisor when it came to home lending specifically, but I'm not giving any real estate advice whatsoever in this video. And just wanted to say, a lot of business people with a lot of business acumen who put a lot of their money into real estate, obviously, because that's the sector that I was focused on, their primary houses were still paid off. A lot of them did not mess around with their primary house. And their primary houses cost a lot more than every other house that they had, but it was paid off. That's mind-blowing. So you're living in a $3 million house, paid off, but you got $2.4 million in other properties at 2%, 3%. Mind blown. Unbelievable. Why is your primary paid off though? Right? Because that frees up their income significantly. They don't want a house hack. They don't want to have roommates to supplement their income. They don't want to deal with the judge, deal with the bank saying that your money is tied up and that they can only use this percentage. No, their home, their toy is completely paid off, because most millionaires pay off their home in 10.2 to 11 years, right? So, again, compounding interest, not having that bad debt, not having all that time in. And let's be real, doctors is a great profession. I'm not trying to shit on doctors by any means. They're a necessity. You must have them. Just like you must have real estate agents. You must have lawyers. You must have police officers. You must have all these other things, right? So I'm not saying, I honestly believe medical school should be lessened in terms of the amount of years that it takes. And I think high school should be shortened to 10th grade, because for the last 2 years, I felt as though there was nothing for me to learn. Like, we done learned it all. You understand? After math, multiplication, and division, and subtracting, like, bro, we don't got to get into all these fractions. I mean, now that I'm doing fractional shares in the stock market, I might be like, oh, okay, that's where that comes in. But people who are not of that mindset and have never been of that mindset, I mean, it still doesn't apply to them today. So yes, we learn things that we may need to survive, but it's just a piece. And a lot of this life experience would help us to get that same amount of knowledge and be productive people in our society. So if 10th grade was where where high school ended, and medical school was shortened of 3 years in pre-med, 3 years in medical school, 6 years would seem respectable. But 8 years plus 2 years residency seems like a lot. I think 1 year residency is acceptable still. And, because you want to at least have a full year under your belt to say, hey, I've done this, I've done that. Why do you need 2 years to learn a job? I've learned a job in 3 months. And I'm pretty sure you can learn a job in 3 months, especially after all the studying that you've done. So, yeah. I mean, it takes away from their financial freedom, in all honesty. And I believe that financial freedom is priceless, and happiness is also priceless. And so, again, you should do what you want to do, what makes you happy, because you'll still be a millionaire as a doctor, but you can also be a millionaire as a janitor. I'd rather talk to patients than pack garbage. That's just my preference. But again, the one packing garbage is going to be richer. And if they do everything right, they'll be wealthier. They might not live the most fancy life, but they'll be set for life. And that is the key takeaway here. So, 1/3 of people have never made 6 figures and are millionaires with their 401k. Are you in that 1/3? Or will you be in the 2/3 who do make 6 figures and are millionaires in their 401k? Let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.